Good day, everyone. I am Julailin Ipanag, and today I'm going to report the lesson 15, which is entitled Gender-Based Violence: Survivor, Victim, Perpetrator, and Human Rights. So, introduction. Gender-based violence is one of the most widespread and human rights abuses, but least recognized in the world. It refers to any harm perpetrated against a person's will on the basis of gender, the socially ascribed differences between males and females. So, bisan unsa nga makadaot nga buhat batok sa usa ka tawo nga dili niya gusto og ang rason kay tungod sa giila nga pagkalain nga kasarian. So, gender-based violence has devastating consequences not only for victims but also for society as a whole. It results in physical, sexual, and psychological harm to both men and women and includes any form of violence or abuse that targets men or women on the basis of sex. So, ang gender-based violence kanang nasay consequences dili lang para sa biktima kundi apil na ang kanang society niya or kanang environment nga iyang gipalibutan. In the Philippines, gender-based violence has clearly been placed in the realm of women's human rights over the past decade. Prior to 1993, most governments regarded violence against women largely as a private matter between individuals. So, sa Pilipinas, there has been a notable shift in recognizing gender-based violence as a violation of women's human rights in the past decade. So before 1993, daghang kasagaran sa gobyerno including ang Pilipinas, they tend to view violence against women as a private matter between individuals, but there has been a significant evolution in understanding and addressing this issue. Gender-based violence experienced by women and girls refers to the battering and other forms of intimate partner violence. So, battering mo na experience mga bae na physical violence such as being hit, slapped, or subjected to other forms of physical harm within the realm of intimate partner relationship. So, battering implies a pattern of abusive behavior, often involving the exertion of power and control by one partner over the other. So, nag-include is yung marital rape. So, ang marital rape is usa ka kahimtang diin ang usa ka asawa nagbuhat og sexual nga buhat nga wala kahibalo og pagtugot sa kapikas. So, sexual violence refers to any unwanted sexual activity imposed on an individual. Dowry-related violence mo ni siya ang usa ka uri sa pag-abuso diin giimpluwensyahan ang pagpalit og kasamtangang bahandi o kayamanan sa kasal. Female infanticide. So, female infanticide mo ni ang is the intention of killing of female infants often due to cultural preferences for male children. So, ang mga bae nga bata patyon kay ang ilahang ganahan is kanang laki nga bata. Then, sexual abuse for female children in the household. Honor crimes. So, honor crimes are violent acts committed to restore perceived family honor. Early marriage. So, early marriage involves the union of individuals before they reach the legal age. Forced marriage. Forced marriage occurs when individuals are compelled into marital unions against their will. Female genital cutting. Female genital cutting entails the partial or totally remove of female genitalia for non-medical reasons. So, traditional practices harmful to women, sexual harassment in the workplace and educational institutions, commercial sexual exploitation. So, commercial sexual exploitation. So, nag-involve or nag-refer ni siya sa coercion of individuals into prostitution and other sexual activities for financial gain. Trafficking of girls and women and violence perpetrated against domestic workers. So, trafficking of girls and women is the illegal trade of exploitation and violence against against women domestic workers involves abusive treatment of individuals employed in the household. Gender-based violence cuts across public and private spheres, including home, school, and work, and takes place during peacetime or conflict. It is both a human rights and a development issue with negative consequences for both women and men. So, ang gender-based violence nahitabo sa kalahalahi nga setting like sabay, eskwelahan, or sa mga trabahoan. O mahitabo ni siya bisan unsa sa panahon sa kalinaw or kagubot. So kini usa ka grabing problema dili lang sa mga babae kundi apil sa mga laki. So di ra ang paglapas sa tawhanong katungod kundi usa sab ka issue sa kalambuan sa katilingban. Consequences of gender-based violence. These consequences include serious, immediate, long-term impacts on the sexual, physical, and psychological health of the survivors. So number 1, health consequences. So health consequences include unwanted pregnancies, complications from unsafe abortions, sexually transmitted infections such or including HIV, injuries, mental health and psychosocial effects such as depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, suicide, and death. So violence also affects children's survival, development, and school participation. Second is the social consequences. So social consequences extend to families and communities. Families can also be stigmatized as a consequence of gender-based violence. For example, when children are born following a rape, or if a family members choose to stand by a survivor, fellow members of their community may avoid them. Number 3, economic consequences. The economic consequences include the cost of public health and social welfare systems and the reduced ability of many survivors to participate in social and economic life. Survivor, victim, and perpetrator. So survivor is the preferred term, not a victim, of a person who has lived through an incident of gender-based violence. A perpetrator is a person, group, or institution that inflicts, supports, or condones violence or other abuse against a person or group of person. So ang tao nga na-experience sa gender-based violence dili gitawag og victim kundi survivor. Then ang perpetrator usa ka tawo or grupo or institusyon nga nagpadayag, nagsuporta o nag-aproba sa pang-abuso sa uban or uban pang kadautan batok sa usa ka tawo o grupo sa mga tawo. So characteristics of perpetrators include persons with real or perceived power. Mao ni ang mga katong nagpossess og kanang mga power over others which can be economic, social, or physical in nature. This power dynamic allows them to exploit and exert control over their victims. So real power could be derived from positions of influence, while perceived power might be based on societal norms of personal relationship. The second is persons in decision-making positions. So persons in decision-making positions. Perpetrators in decision-making positions have the authority to make choices that impact others. This authority could be within an organization, community, or any setting where decisions affect the well-being of individuals. So abusing this decision-making power can lead to the perpetration of violence or abuse. The last is persons in authority. So persons in authority, those in authority such as leaders or figures with control. They can become perpetrators when they misuse their position to harm others. So authority figures may include government officials, community leaders, or individuals in roles where they are entrusted with responsibility. Abusing this authority contributes to an environment conducive to violence and abuse. So that would be all my report. Thank you.
Good day everyone. I am Adonis Pistal. I am going to continue the report of Miss Julaili. My report was all about the difference and similarities of survivor and the victim, and also the relationship of human rights and the GBV, or the gender-based violence. So first, let us know the similarities of the survivor and the victim. So survivor and the victim has been mistreated and destroyed. They has suffered as a result of someone else's actions, belief, or a result of unpleasant circumstances. Both victim and survivor had experienced some form of adversity or trauma. They both experienced bully, discrimination, and abuse. So, si survivor and victim, pareha sila na nakaagi og pamaltrato, discrimination, even physical abuse. Sa ato ang country, dili na nabag-o nato kay kalingaw naman ta makabalita sa TV or sa internet nga naadyo yung mga tao nga nagbully or naka-experience og abuse. Ang common nga makasinati ana ay ang mga members sa LGBTQ+. Kay naay ubang tawo nga dili ganahan sa mga LGBTQ+, maong ilang i-bully or i-discriminate, even ang ubang parents nga dili nila dawat ang ilang mga anak nga members sa LGBTQ, maong makulatahan or mapagbubuhatan ng kamay kay lagi dili nila dawat ang ilang anak. So for the difference and of survivor and the victim. So victim is typically refers to someone who suffered harm or negative event. Victim is powerless at mercy of others. So si victim mauni ang mga tawo nga nakasinati og abuse, bully or discrimination. So sorry sa words nga akong gamiton. Example ni kanang mga gay, naka-experience sila abuse gikan sa ilang parents, especially silang tatay. Matawag na to na sila og victim kay nakasinati mo sila abuse. So survivor on the other hand is not a victim. So nganong dili man victim si survivor nga parehas man sila kana definition or like similarities. So dili na to matawag nga victim si dili na nato matawag nga victim ang isa ka survivor kay na-overcome na niya ang iyang mga trauma na nga iyang nagian. So wala na siya nagpadaog sa iyang mga nasanitian like bully or discrimination. So si survivor may continued sa iyang kinabuhi despite sa iyang mga nagian. So bale kung ang isa ka victim ma-overcome niya ang iyang mga nasanitian nga dili maayo, matawag na nato siya og survivor. So now let's go to the human rights. So what is human rights? Human rights are universal, inalienable, invisible, interconnected, and interdependent. Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. So, kani si human rights, wala na gipili. So, kita tanan ani naka-benefits. So, sa may relation ni human rights sa GBV or sa gender-based violence. So, prevention of and response to gender-based violence is directly linked to the protection of human rights. So, giprotektahan ni human rights ang nakasinati og GBV. As acts of gender-based violence violate a number of human rights principles enshrined in international human rights instrument and in our Philippines Constitution. So, si human rights protektahan niya ang mga tao nga nakasinati og gender-based violence. So unsa man nga mga human rights nga na-violate sa mga nga mibuhat og GBV. So example ani nga human rights are the right to equality, freedom from discrimination, right to life, liberty, personal security, freedom from slavery, freedom from torture and degrading treatment. So mao ni nga So mao ni ang mga example sa human rights nga ilang nalabag. So for summary, GBV is a worldwide phenomenon which number be given attention nationally and internationally. The consequences capture almost all spheres of our lives. A main focus of gender-based violence is violence against women, or the VOW, affecting women and girls across their lifespan. VOW also covers a continuum of violence which apprehend to be unending, with an array of elements of abuse, coercion, or force. The survivor and the perpetrator are important actors in GBV and VOW cases. GBV and VOW are clear violations of human rights. All this point to the essence that these acts of violence are a global and national concern.